Okay, this competition is called 3 Point Basket, and here's how it works. You've been asked to bring a plastic cup, a sheet of paper, and a tape measuring. God fucking damn it. I'm
Do you
gonna.
want to start over?
No, I'm gonna leave that in. So you might
Great.
find that fun. This competition is called 3 Point Basket, and here's how it works. You've been asked to bring a plastic cup, a sheet of paper, and a tape measure. You'll measure out a distance of your choice between yourself and the plastic cup, which you will place opening facing upwards. You'll then stand at the end of your measurement, ball up the sheet of paper, and attempt to sink a shot into your cup. If you sink it the first time, your score will be the distance you're making the shot from in centimeters. For every shot you miss, 5 points will be deducted for your score. If you get to zero, the challenge will end for you. Your feet must stay behind the line you set, and no other part of your body can touch the floor. However, you are allowed to crouch, lean, or anything else to help you get closer, providing nothing else touches the ground. Do you go for the miracle shot, or do you bank a low score and hope everyone else fails? It's up to you. The top score will win the power of veto.
So I could literally do 7 inches.
If you wanted.
Well, okay. Let me figure out how many inches I want to do. You said as long as I can pretty much lean, as long as my feet don't touch the ground, or as long as nothing but my feet touches the ground.
Yep.
It's a good thing I'm tall.
So it's not like a best of five and I'm doing different like distances every time.
No, you pick your distance, and then you go until you make it or you hit zero.
Okay. And you said leaning's allowed.
Yeah, crouch, lean, anything that get you closer, provided you're behind that line and nothing else is touching the floor.
So okay. So if I had someone hold me and I lean forward and they were holding me back, is that okay? Theoretically, of course. Like to help me lean. Like
I'm gonna go with no here.
No, you said lean. I wouldn't be just like they would be holding me back. Like I would
Connor,
be like,
we're not using other people. You're competing in this challenge, no one else.
but I can have a buddy.
No, Connor, you don't get a buddy here. You're on your own. Perfect. Okay, that works.
Okay.
Just make sure you're standing behind the tape measure. You're standing next to it.
Oh,
I know. This is really.
This is the most stupidest, man. Oh my God. Oh, stupid. No, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, hell no. This game.
Today we're learning how a tape measure works, ladies and gentlemen.
Why did I sign up for this game?
If it dissolves on you, it's your fault. I can't see the cup, just FYI.
No.
If you can just angle down a little bit, what you had before was fine. No, I can't. You need to angle the laptop down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. That's fine. That's not fine. Whoopsies.
That was almost fucking in! That was literally bounced off the edge of the fucker! You bitch!
Okay.
Got the fucker in!
It fell over, but it stayed in, so that's good, right?
Angle the camera down. Or, let me see that it's still in there. Okay. Sure.
Does that count? Does it count?
Um,
It didn't leave the cup.
1 second.
Technically, it's still in the cup.
It does look like it's still in the cup. Would you be able to angle the camera down just a little bit? Yep, it stayed in the cup.
So does it count?
I'm gonna count it.
Here's
Fuck yes!
And
Stupid game. What the fuck? Stupid. Swear to God, if Brian wins this Pia Power review, I'm gonna. 1, 2. Yeah!
hey, yep, that's good.
Hey, shut up. Got it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the results for the veto and also the third eye. So, as a reminder for the third eye competition, you all were tasked with making a video attempting to make several judges feel as jealous as possible. The best score would get an advantage, and the worst would get a disadvantage. The disadvantage would be made public, however, the advantage would not. The disadvantage, well, no one got it because we didn't have 2 people compete. And that's all I'm going to say on that. To the veto we go. So for the veto competition, we had the 6 of you take a tape measure as long as you wanted, and you had to try and throw a balled up a piece of paper into a cup. Whoever had and for each time you missed, 5 points would be deducted from your score. Largest points in centimeters would win. We're going to start with the smallest starting distance, which was Timmy at 93. His ending score, 93. Got on his first try. Timmy's in the lead. Next lowest, Brian. He started with 137. His end score, 97. Brian is currently in the lead. Next up, somewhere. Where did? Okay. Next up is Ali with 172. His end score, 147. And then I can't find what I did with the card, but Chloe had a starting score of 183 and ended with 143. So currently, Ali's in the lead.
Y'all threw it, yeah.
And we got Michael with a starting score of 215. He ended with 205. Michael is in the lead. And then last up was Connor. He started with a score of 271.
What the fuck?
He ended with a score of 221, which means, Connor, you have won the power of veto.
Where's the weakest? Where's the weakest now?
Oh,
Talking about. That is what I'm talking about, people. Don't underestimate anybody in this situation.
So, congratulations, Connor. You're going to have, I'm going to say 2 hours to decide whether or not you're going to use it. You have until 9 p.m. EST. to figure out your decision. Okay, Connor?
Can't hear you. I'm fluffing.
That's
Wow.
what I'm talking about.
I mean,
That's what I'm talking about, Brian.
he's not even.
Is he having a stroke? He can watch it. He can watch it.
You need to call 911.
Are you okay, hon?
Congratulations.
Thank
Island.
thank you all for showing up,
I,
and I'll see you at the ceremony.
wow.
Connor, you're good.
Hello, everyone. It is the Power Veto ceremony. As the person who won the Power Veto, I have to make a decision. I can either not use it, I can save Chloe, I can save Michael, or I can save Brian. I thought about this decision, and I think it really, for me, this decision comes down to personally, like, there's been a lot of negativity in this game, and personally, and I get, like, it is game negativity. It's not anything like something like the first boot did, but like it's still game negativity and a lot of, like, I don't know. I get that it's a game. And I'm glad it's staying in game form, but it's still something that, like, I don't know. My decision is based on positivity. I want to keep positivity around, and also it's really based on a lot of stuff was said. A lot of stuff was said last night, and for me, it's about dealing with it the best way. And I think the fairest thing to do is when people say you can't win something, you prove them you can win it and do the thing they don't want you to do. So for that reason, I'm using the Power Veto on Chloe. And I like your fingers, Michael. Be nifty.
Oh shit, he left.
Someone's mad.
Oh shit.
Fingers. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Connor.
Congrats, Chloe.
Congrats, Chloe.
Okay.
Chloe. You slayed.
And with that, the final nominees are Brian and Michael. You all have about 22 hours to figure out what you're going to do, who you're going to evict. Eviction will be tentatively 6 EST. If it needs the change, it can. And that's all I got. Good night, House. Yes.
Good night, Tina. Bye.
Good night, Julie.
Good night,
I'm
Talita.
genuinely confused because Connor and Chloe aren't in.
Evening, everybody. Welcome to the eviction night for week 4 of the All Seeing Eye Season 3. It's been a pretty eventful week, starting sort of with last week's eviction. It's probably been the most active and perhaps chaotic week of the game so far. Speaking of chaos, Timmy, not only are you not on the block, you actually won something.
Oh my god, thank you.
So, how are you? Firstly, how are you feeling actually being safe for once this week? But also, how do you feel that your HOH reign has gone as a whole?
As for like being safe for the first time, it's been great that the conversations with people have been congratulations instead of I'm sorry. So that's been fucking thrilling. As for how I think my HOH reign went, fabulous. The clownery has been beautiful.
Okay. Who else should we talk to? Josh D. I don't even know if Josh R is here, but I'll still specify. So, on a personal level, it's no secret that of the people within this game, you were perhaps one of the ones who had a closer affinity with Megan. But do you feel that this week, not having that association has actually helped your game, or are you still slightly mourning the loss of her from this game?
Yes, we had like in Big Brother 11, I did like the funeral with the wine for when Jesse was evicted. No, but like I mean, I think it was no secret. Like she was someone I wanted to play the game with. So, but I know she was a big player, and you know, it's the game and things happen. You can only move forward, and you know, hopefully it helps.
Okay. So there's been quite a lot said this week about perhaps various lines beginning to form within the game. Some of that sort of stemmed from the nominees, you know, and I'll talk to them a bit later on. But one of the main things that's being mentioned quite a bit is the idea of some kind of international alliance. I think for the most part, said internationals have stayed reasonably quiet on this, so I'm going to push one of them for some kind of reaction. Harshal, what's your take on it?
If you want, I can get Tom and Chloe. They're just in the other room, actually. Guys. I don't know.
Trying to get a class on. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and eat my croissant. Thank you.
Okay. I can see I'm not going to get much more than that. Who else should we talk to? Nicholas. Obviously, last week was the first time we saw a vote that was split. Do you think that that's indicative specifically of lines and alliances, or do you just think that last week was a contentious vote and people had different ideas?
I mean, I think people just had different ideas and different goals. I don't think it was any type of alliance like Brian seems to think, but apparently, like, you know, he wants to do that. Okay. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see if I can get more than silence out of Jabbar this week. Jabbar, if last week's vote wasn't signs of different sides forming, what do you think it will take to start seeing those sides forming within this game?
You know, I guess it just depends on who you ask. According to some people, I've been on a side since the day I walked into the game. So I guess it just depends on who you ask and how they feel about it. But seeing as though you're asking me, my response is going back on mute.
One day, I'll get an answer without something sassy at the end of it. So, Ali, I couldn't tell whether you were clicking your fingers at Jabbar's reaction.
I want to be answering a question. Thank you.
You want a question? Okay. So, do you feel that with this week being the first time that perhaps some people are calling out certain other people and making suggestions about where the lines are, do you think right now this is going to turn into a game where we see the more vocal players gone after, or do you actually think that it could be a dangerous place for those who are trying to fly under the radar?
Well, this, I honestly feel like I came into the house chat yesterday, and like I was just drinking some tea, and like I was just wanted to see how the weather was going, and then like everyone was going off at each other. So I feel like the vocal players will go first, and I'm pretty vocal, so I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute.
So basically, what I'm discovering is that apparently every time I ask a question, it's just going to be people trying to go
No,
back
okay,
on
but for real,
mute.
but for real.
I mean, if they want shady.
Silence is golden.
No, but for real, I feel like the more vocal people will go first, and under the radar people will go later. I mean, that's how it works mainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these questions are shady, so I don't know what responses you're expecting to get. Let's be real.
You're all boring.
I'm trying to
We have
ask.
questions for you, Z.
You have questions for me?
Mm-hmm.
Just
You
kidding.
can ask me questions. I've got no problem with that. I just might not answer them.
You might just go on mute.
No, I don't think I'm trying to ask shady questions. I'm just trying to ask questions that give a general picture for the viewers of where the game's heading. There's no lead weight in either side of my questioning. I don't really mind what happens as long as it's interesting.
So he's being leading.
Say that again?
So you're being leading. No.
You're not helping, Keaton. No.
When have I ever?
So Chloe, for the fourth week in a row, the veto was used this week. This week it was used on you. Do you think that for as long as the third nominee twist is in play, we're likely to see it be used every week, or can you see scenarios potentially arising where we could end up with 3 nominees still come eviction night?
Yeah, veto's veto. It's probably going to be used, especially with this third nominee thing. I don't know what else you want me to say about that. Like, obviously, the person that's HOH is going to nominate 2 people, and then that's probably their target. So whoever's the third nominee is not going to be their target. So if the HOH has already won an HOH, they might win a POV, and then they're just going to take the third person off. I don't know. Or whatever's going to happen. So.
I'm sensing an interesting dynamic where nobody particularly wants to answer questions today, which is interesting. Connor's putting it, what? You want a question? I don't necessarily know I have any more questions, but it's you, Connor. Answer the question that you want to be asked, Connor.
Yes, I'm muscular. Thanks for noticing.
If the episode title isn't I'm going on mute, I'm gonna riot.
Give me a question. I won beta this week. I did something. I deserve a question.
Okay, fine. Actually, yeah, all right. Okay. So there had been a couple of suggestions that in some of your previous competitions you may have been trying to throw. Obviously, you've said no, but did those accusations light a fire under your ass for this week's veto, or did it just happen to be perfectly timed that you got something you were good at?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm good at throwing paper balls into cups. I've never done it before, so I wouldn't call myself an expert. I do think when someone tells you you're not going to do something, it does kind of light a fire under your boo-hookie. So, like, that's why I did think, like, I did personally, like, honestly did thank Brian for that, because if he didn't give me that fire, I don't think I would have been able to win that. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been thrown at this point. I've just been naturally bad, which I know is hard to believe because 1 million miles sounds really ridiculous to the average person. Sorry. But I was happy I was finally able to do something like decent in the competition and be able to win. So like, I'm glad. Hopefully now people will view me more, view me less as a joker. No, this is a jack. Sorry. View me less as a joker, and then more as like an actual like competitor. I would hope so. I got muscles. You just can't see them.
Okay, fair enough.
And I would add that people like thought you were throwing because that 1 million thing, but we wouldn't have even known that if someone didn't tell us for no reason, because we didn't know anyone else's guesses for the tiebreaker. But like, someone just decided to tell us yours for no reason. That's just something to think about, you know.
I mean, Nicholas is really coming on the attack this week.
I mean, you want to try to force drama by asking shady questions? I'll give you all the drama you need.
I think Connor just fell.
Like, go ahead.
You okay?
Why do you think people keep on not answering your questions? Because we don't want to. Like,
okay.
Very interesting idea by coming after production.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. You guys are already being shady.
If I was able to talk,
What you
I
gonna
would
do?
answer questions.
You want to go?
There's no need to sit down and follow me, Nicholas. There's no reason to sit down.
I'm just saying, like, you acting so all surprised that when I'm answering your questions, I wonder why.
I mean, I'm just asking the same questions that I've been asking for 3 seasons and no one else has had an issue with. But if you want to be the
That's not what we were
first,
saying
you be
behind the
my
scenes,
guest.
but okay. Okay.
Being a part of season 2, I know these are the kind of questions that get asked repeatedly. There's nothing weird going on here.
I'm not saying there's anything weird. I'm just saying in general it's not good. Like, you're wondering why you're not getting responses. Look at your, like, people, listen, people talk behind the scenes. So I know I'm not the only one who thinks these questions are shady and uncalled for sometimes. Not all of them, but certainly some. So, no response. That's what you're going to be getting.
If that was no response, I'm scared for what a response is.
Okay. That was different. But, you know, whatever. So, I'll talk to the nominees now. So, Brian, you came out fairly, I'm not going to say combative, but certainly full of opinions during the 3rd nomination ceremony. Did you feel like that was something you perhaps had to do to improve your chances this week, or was it simply something you wanted to do based on what you'd seen so far?
I think that I was definitely in a bad spot coming into this week, and even possibly even before this week. So I do think I had to do something. I've been being told a lot this game that I've been a universal house target, but nobody has ever told me necessarily who that is. So I felt like I had to throw something at the wall to try to save myself, and that's what I did. Is the alliance true? Maybe, maybe not. Like, I don't necessarily think that I never was given 100% certainty of anything. I felt like I had to throw something at a wall, make myself a bigger threat so it makes sense to keep me, because I think everyone knows that they would have a better chance sitting next to the block with me as the other nominee compared to Michael, who has a very good chance of, if he survives this week, to bounce back and make a really good run in this game.
And now looking at it retrospectively, do you still feel positive about it? Do you worry about it? Or do you not really know how that move went for you until you see the votes?
I think the votes will determine whether or not it was a good or bad move. But I think it could have been. I think we will see tonight.
Okay, fair enough. So, Michael, obviously you've been HOH so far this season. Brian was HOH last week. Do you think that this week is in any way indicative that perhaps those who do win HOHs might be particularly targeted this season?
Not at all. I think that there's like 2 very different reasons why Brian and I were put on the block, and I think this week was indicative of our relationships beginning. And I know that I've put an effort to repair my relationship with Sting and a lot of people. So I hope moving forward that everyone sees me as a good competitor to keep in, and I know that Brian has done a lot of calling people out, and like I just want to show that like a lot of the opinions that Brian shared a couple days ago, I'm not supporting.
Okay. Additionally, sort of, whilst you're not necessarily agreeing with Brian, you did seem pretty upset at the veto ceremony with Connor choosing to use it on Chloe. If not sort of perhaps related to those sorts of things, what was it that made you so upset about that?
I had an opportunity to speak with Connor. We hashed things out. I think it was a good moment. I was frustrated by his decision. Obviously, anyone on the block wants the veto to be used on them, and I was hoping that I could get the veto used on me. Connor told me that he was most likely going to use it on Chloe, and that's why I reacted so poorly, because I wanted to have the veto used on me, and obviously it wasn't used on me. And I think that's pretty understandable.
Fair enough. So I'm going to go to the votes momentarily, but before I do either you, Michael, or Brian have anything you'd like to say before I do so?
I would just like to say I've told everyone where my head is at in this game. I have pointed my gun at people, and that's where I'm going to be taking my shot. I don't think that you can feel as confident knowing what Michael would do if he would win next week compared to me. So I think some people need to make a move this week before they become the big move.
And I just want to say I've had a great time playing this game with you all. Production, you put on a really fun experience, and I think the challenges have been really cool and unique and different from what I've experienced in the past. I wrote a list of people I'd like to thank. Ali, Chloe, Connor, Harshal, Jabbar, Jack, Josh D, Nicholas, Tawny, Thomas, and Timmy. It's been a pleasure playing this game with you all. I would ask for your support to stay in the game. I respect the decision if you choose to evict me.
Y'all keep on coming out with these lists.
Name their names.
These,
Who did you not say?
I think that can go unsaid.
Oh, we're gonna have to rewind then. Okay.
Did you not- Because you were texting me right before saying it's been a pleasure playing this game with you. So that's
that's until the week played out.
it was 30 minutes ago.
Can I show receipts?
I could show receipts too. Let me go read aloud.
I mean, neither of you. Yeah, neither
That's
of you
illegal
can.
action. That's illegal action.
Can I ask a question?
I don't know who said that, but sure. Oh, hi, Nick.
Yes, hi, Nick. Michael, I just want to know why you were so fake to me this whole time and acted like my friend, and then you went straight to Connor and Timmy and tried to get me put up as the renom.
It's because you were working with Brian, and if Brian's the target this week, makes more sense to you to be on the block than me, and I know that
Why? Because you were playing both sides, and so it didn't matter if you stayed and he didn't.
You're most likely going to keep Brian this week, and I don't feel like our conversations have been great. That is all.
That's not what you said when you gave me your personal phone number.
And you also gave me your personal phone number, and also you told me
I gave my phone number out because sometimes on my laptop the call echoes, and people do know that.
Okay. But you did tell me that I was your number one in the game, and then you did that at the same time swear on a Bible, or was willing to swear on a Bible to evict your number one or final two, or however you want to call it, and that's where I can't be trusted.
Okay, can I just say that did come from me? I did not say that to throw anyone on the bus. I said that because I was venting. Brian, granted, probably not the best person to vent to.
I'm not calling you out, Connor. I don't think you did anything wrong.
No. I'm just saying I don't want it to seem like I'm using anything like that to manipulate anything. After that happened, the next call I went on was Brian, who was wanting to call with me. And after that, we were talking about whatever, and I mentioned it because I was going to vent about it to production anyway, just because, I don't know how to feel about it, and, when I don't know how to feel about things, I ask for other people's opinion. Granted, looking at it now, Michael, or
names. Brian was not the best person to vent to about that, and like, and to be fair, I did not go to freaking Nick and say any of that. Like, I that did not come from me.
I never said that you said it. Michael came to me and told
You
me.
didn't say that. Michael came to me.
I just want that clarified because I didn't go around saying any of that either.
Michael told me the
Didn't
whole
do anything wrong.
but left out that he was willing to swear in the Bible to evict me. That was the only
Okay,
thing.
and can I just say, like, let's not use that. I only said that as a venting thing. Let's not use that. Like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, I should have an eviction, not a tribal council. Can we go to the vote, please?
I'd rather not discuss.
I'm getting evicted. I'm getting evicted. I said my piece.
Okay. In which case, we can indeed go to the vote. And then no shit. Why isn't this working?
Because you're stupid.
First.
Do I need to go to the-
Why are you? Yeah, I got invited to a breakout room.
Oh shit.
Everybody's going.
Damn, they all went to vote at the same time? Invite?
Well, Z said we might as well just all vote here.
I see Julian.
Yeah, everyone was in there.
I don't know what the fuck happened there.
You added everyone to the breakout room, idiot.
I voted though.
You did automatically instead of manually.
Right, hang on. Let's try this again.
That was clownery.
That's so funny.
Can you keep that in the episode?
I will. Oh, I always keep my fuck ups in.
Yeah, well, what happened? I just got sent to a breakout room and then bounced back instantly.
I accidentally sent
because
everybody
everyone
at
got
the
sent to the
same
breakout room.
CBS
Right.
is like freaking out right now.
I went into the breakout room, I saw Harshal, and I was like, hang on a sec.
I walk in, I see 7 people, and I'm like, no, that's not right.
Hey, everyone cast your vote at the same time.
Vote to evict
Everyone
me.
shout.
This is a live eviction for real.
Whoever shouts the
If
loudest.
Everyone either yell Brian or Michael, and whoever is louder gets evicted.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think that's what I'm hoping. I don't know why that happened.
Didn't disappear. That's good.
Oh, hey, Tawny.
There's a vote.
Connor should also be disappearing, but Connor, why are you not going?
I think he's frozen. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Right, fine. Well, that was eventful.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say it. Weeks are much more interesting when I'm not on the block. I'm gonna just throw it out there, guys.
He isn't wrong. Which means
So-
we should nominate him because I want boring weeks.
Okay, wait. I need to change the nomination. Hello.
I think we should all just put Timmy out.
I hate my life.
I want an easy week, please.
Right in, Timmy.
The only-
Jabbar.
So I won Big Brother by being nominated 13 times.
That's me. I'm here to set records.
No, you're here to show off your Demi Lovato posters.
Okay, so this is a progression. This is her in Camp Rock, and this is her from the Tell Me You Love Me tour. And then on the side, I have her ex-boyfriend, the Jonas Brothers.
Oh
I like that you put them on different walls.
They have to be separate, but next to each other. Like, it's still like, there's hope, but not too much hope.
Wait, so you like Demi Lovato?
I fucking love Demi Lovato.
You want to? Okay, so my uncle used to work with her father, and they're actually friends on Facebook. So there was a chance I could have like literally been friends with Selena and Demi because Barney was filmed like very close to me. I've actually been in Selena Gomez's junior high. Like I could have been friends with Demi Lovato, and my uncle decided no.
I'm mad at your uncle for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm livid.
Like, they're still friends on Facebook. My aunt's friends with Dina. Like,
Chloe, you're meant to be going.
Her national anthem was so good. in the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yes. Y'all, we could have been talking about this all week instead of saying the internationals are working together. I'm offended.
That awkward silence.
I'm just really mesmerized by Chloe's frozen screen.
Wait, what?
It's a good look for her.
Oh.
There we go.
There she goes.
So
Anybody want cake?
I love lying to customers.
I don't think it was ever publicly said, but Brian was the have-not this week, correct?
Yeah.
So then he has a have-not punishment?
Oh. See,
If
you
I'm
know.
not crazy? Something?
Jackson really said, I'm going to see Brian do something embarrassing.
And on that note, bye, y'all.
Go crazy, go stupid, go wild. Go to the brick
He
road.
truly said, I want to see Brian do some stupid shit on camera.
That's it.
I heard it here first.
That's it.
I'm really ready for my manager to come up to the front and start yelling at me, but you know what? Whatever. Screw it.
It's okay. We'll all yell at her.
Him.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
His name is Carlos, so if anyone knows Spanish, you can speak Spanish to him.
Oh, I'm gonna have to step out.
Oh, I didn't realize you were at work. Oh my god.
Blinks.
You
I
think
have
she
a
wears
nice
an orange
little safety
vest and a
vest
mask
on.
at
I'm playing
home?
a Keaton.
You know what?
I'm
That
literally
was-
COVID Keaton. This is great.
I'm looking at.
If anyone knows how to keep your hands from being completely sweaty and gloves, I would really appreciate the tips.
Girl, no.
You
Cut off
can't.
your hand.
You just can't.
Just don't wear gloves.
Cut off your hand.
I have to.
Ice
And it is
cubes in the
required.
fingers.
What?
Ice
Ew.
cubes in the fingers.
I think that would actually make it worse.
That would cause so much liquid just to come out.
That's actually hypothermia.
When has he ever been able to give good advice?
Thanks.
It truly is a tech production, dude. I missed out.
I
I wasn't made aware.
No, the only person on production I want to attack is Keaton.
Why? What did Keaton do this time?
He can attack me.
He
I
can
just think
choke
it's
me.
fun to bully Keaton.
JK Kate, if you're watching this. Oh, and here
I'm
comes
okay
the
with like
manager.
just bullying the shit out of Keaton if you guys are.
He's an easy target.
Jack was production last season. Can we bully him?
Oh, you're always welcome to bully Jack.
I mean, I was bullied the entire last season, so I mean, I'm used to it.
Have you like survived to your expectations, like being production and like not being first boot?
Yeah, I'm always happy that I'm not first boot, and then after that, not second boot, not third boot, so on and so forth, until I'm eventually evicted and then start crying. So, you know, the usual stuff.
Mm. Oh, Tiny must have got caught. Oh, girl.
Carlo.
Oh shit.
Oh, she exposed.
Oh, did she vote?
I was 27, 26. I got on the show. I wanted to travel. I wanted to be athletic. I wanted so much more.
Ali, I
what
think
are
you
you
need to
watching?
mute.
Oh, sorry.
That's copyrighted material.
Yeah. She was 27. She wanted to travel. No.
Carlos. You didn't do anything wrong, Carlos.
And she wanted to travel.
Carlos didn't want to say hi to y'all. I'm sorry. I offered.
Can I vote to pick Carlos?
Oh my god.
Who
I don't know. Can I evict him?
But I'll let him know that he's been evicted from the Big Brother Hayes house.
By one vote.
One.
I can see
That's
the
all.
sweat bubbles in. Are you kidding me, Richie?
Is Harshal frozen? I've tried to send Harshal, but he doesn't seem to be doing
Yes, he's
anything.
frozen.
He's definitely frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He doesn't naturally move like that.
I want to see one.
How many people still got to vote?
Like 3, I think, maybe
Okay,
4.
let's get
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What if I just start getting drunk?
Girl.
Harshal, you froze up. Did you vote?
Yeah, it just took me like ages to get back in here.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you had voted and we weren't ignoring you.
Marshall doesn't want to vote. Let him not vote.
Blinks.
Z,
Yeah.
how often do you play darts?
Not very often recently because my room's not set up with the board for
Oh.
wheelchair height. When I move, much more frequently, probably.
Are you good? Can you play like well?
I'm not terrible.
Z, do you have any Spanish parents?
No, my
Because of your name,
Yeah,
Siempre?
my family is a very mixed bag. They're from all over the place. It's Tom back.
Hello, friends. I took ages to find the leave button.
Why does Tom looks like he's like on some kind of like 2007 camera?
I probably am.
He's on one of the Blackberries with the rollerball.
They said just, oh, jeez, no.
AZ,
Yeah.
if you ever had a son, would you consider naming him Darte?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Would you consider naming him what?
Darte, like the darts, and Zarte.
Blinks.
Okay, I think everyone has voted. Okay, so I think that's everyone's votes. So we're just going to go off cam for a minute to double check them all. Please feel free to give any shout outs or anything like that.
I want to give a shout out to Tony's manager.
Hey, Carlo.
I also like to give a shout out.
He's going potty.
Shout out to my family screaming in the background.
Shout out to my family screaming in the background at the same time.
Shout out to my family that's asleep.
It is past your time and Harshal's bedtime.
Shout out to the people without families.
I can't. Are you okay, Connor?
I'm not okay. I'm asking a rough day. Leave me alone. Because I was thinking about the shout outs to families. I'm like, what about the people that don't have families?
Okay.
Shout out to Ethan. Rest and recover.
Shout out to Family Guy.
Are we really going to consider Connor as sane after his
Connor.
celebration?
Connor, can you please spank your ass again?
Don't that no.
I just.
That was a whole ass experience.
I have to go.
I think
yes, very
I'll-
correct, Chloe.
I'm gonna spare everyone from that one. Right, okay, the votes are all in. They've been counted and independently verified by the therapist I've just ordered after Nicholas's roasting. And I can confirm that by a vote of 10-2, Brian, you have been evicted from the All Seeing Eye 3 house.
anything you'd like to say before you leave?
Not really. I guess thanks for the 2 people who saved me. I've had a great time playing. Everything I've done was personal side. And I had a really good time playing. I don't really know who lied. Well, a lot of people lied, so that's interesting. But thanks for those who were honest and straight up about how they were voting, and to those who lied, that's on you.
Fair
Thanks
enough.
for-
Well, it's been eventful, Brian, but we have to say goodbye. Take care.
Bye.
Right. So we're down to 14. You are all one step closer towards the end. However, in 3 days' time, if you survive, you will be another 2 steps closer to the end, because Saturday will be a double.
By that time, I'll be 2 steps closer to the drinking because of this. Thank you, guys.
Saturday doesn't work for me. Can we do it Sunday?
That's not how this works.
Yo, bitch is at work until 6 p.m.
Okay. Push eviction to 7. Boom.
Or, push eviction to something, 6:30.
I don't know what. We can push it to make sure everyone can attend because it's an important thing to be at.
But, yeah. Anyway, so this week we will have a semi-live HOH tomorrow, live veto Friday, and then we will have eviction, HOH, veto, eviction on Saturday. But for now, I will bid you all a good evening. Take care, everyone.